I don't know about you, but one of the toughest things for me as a designer is mastering my portfolio site. I'm always on the lookout for ways to make it more eye-catching and interesting and easy to navigate. So in today's video, I want to show you 6 portfolio sites that I have been really inspired by lately. And I saved my very favorite one for last, so make sure to watch till the very end of the video. Okay, the first portfolio we're going to look at is this really funky one for a motion and interactive designer named Felipe Neveau. I might have butchered that name, I'm very sorry, but this is really fun. So one of my favorite things about this is that this person is showing what they do best using their portfolio, not just using the work in their portfolio. So they're a motion and interactive designer. I'm seeing motion and right away we can interact with it. It says click and draw to add emotions to this face. So we can click and add this kind of like smile. We can add like a really happy smile. We can add eyebrows. Like, it's just fun. You can play around with this, and clearly they have mad chops when it comes to developing this type of thing too. So yeah, that is the first thing I really love. And also what I love about this is that it's still easy to navigate and use. So when we click on work, first of all, when we hover over it, there's this really cool hover effect, and he's sort of using these like stickers, types of things here. And so this is how you look at the projects, and it's really different. But I really like it. It's not taking away from the experience at all. In fact, I think it's adding to it a lot. So let's hover over one and we'll click on it. I like that animation a lot. Okay, cool. Online games, streaming, and life. Wait, okay, it says scroll and click anywhere. Oh, this is cool. Again, there's like so many cute, little animations and interactions that really just kind of remind you what he's so good at. I love this. And I like how he lays this out. I think it's cool how these come in, but again, they're not too overwhelming, this motion, because I've seen it done so many times where there's just too much motion happening, and I have no idea what this is, and it's just too much. But I do like the subtlety of this. Okay, wait, let's see what this thing is. I'm scrolling down. What's this? Okay, I don't know what that was. I guess it's just reminding you you can do this. I don't know. Okay, but this is really cool. And then this is sort of like the rest of the project. So we can click there. This is sort of like his footer. He doesn't really have a footer other than these. Let's click on the about page and see what that is all about. I like this a lot. Okay, this is kind of cool. Whenever you hover over his name, there is a photo. I really like that. And yeah, these are cool hover effects too. He has a reel, which is great for motion designers. Let's see. Code by Raphael. This is really cool. Sweet. Let's look at one more thing. Let's look at lab. So this is sort of like the things that he is working on that aren't full projects. So this is really cool. Really simple layout, but it still has a lot of animation to it, which is awesome. The other thing I wanted to mention is just his logo. I think it's a really cool logo by itself, but then when you hover over it, it's also animated. It shows different facial expressions, and it's just really cool. He's really got a good brand for himself with these like faces and fun interactions that follow your mouse. And yeah, I think it's awesome. Next, something really different. This is so much more simple, but I think a lot of times simple is good. And that's usually where I tend to go, is the really simple route. But I like to get inspired by a lot of different things. So this is one of my favorite portfolio sites. This is John Jablonski. Again, I hope I didn't butcher that name. And he's a senior UX designer currently building a dramatically more accessible world at Boom Supersonic. So that is really cool and straightforward. So this person isn't a freelancer. It looks like they actually have a gig, but they just have a bunch of work, which is really cool. So what I love most about this is just that it's simple and usable. I love the design style. I really like this type of button and the superscripts. I just think these are really cool and I don't see them very often, and it just adds an extra layer of context. So we're seeing that there are 9 projects here. So if we click, we know we're going to see 9. If we look at these tags, we can kind of like look a little bit deeper and be more specific about what we want to look at. Let's go to articles. So again, really like the superscript here. We're showing that there are 55 articles. So since they're not all on this page, I think it's cool and important to know how many are there. And again, we have all of these tags, which is super cool. Another just fun thing that he did is create his site in light and dark mode. So I really like that. If we go to speaking, and I believe it also exists on his info page, I just really like this setup where you can link out to all of these talks, and I believe these are other like mentions. Let's see. And also things that he's published. I don't know why, I just really like this. I haven't like seen it really designed like this before, and I really like it. So yeah, this one is so simple, but feel free to check it out in more detail and hopefully you can get some ideas from it. Okay, here is the third one that we are looking at. This is Adrien Laurent, and he is an interactive designer. And this portfolio is just really unique, which is why it's really inspiring to me. So you can kind of scroll through the projects here, and as you scroll and you're sort of highlighted on one, each of them has its own little GIF that is within the same style. So he's sort of branded it in that way. And also the color changes anytime you roll over a new project, which is really cool. So let's check out a project. I really like these transitions as well. And these GIFs that we saw before now are sort of like falling down around all of this stuff, and it just feels really unique and different, and it's really cool. So you can just scroll here and we can see that he also has some really nice transitions with the text. And yeah, I think this is beautiful and really, really unique. I also noticed on the About page that when you hover over certain things here, you just get these cute little GIFs that kind of personify each of these things that he focuses on. So I think that that is really cool and unique. And just like the scroll animations here are really, really nice. And this sort of layout is similar to what we saw before, and I still really like it on this one. I think it's just really nice. Yeah, I think that's about it for this. The only thing that I would say is a con, I guess, to this style is that when you scroll kind of fast on all these projects, it's a little bit nauseating. It's like a little much. So it's okay since there's only 5. It's not like you'd be scrolling a ton on this page, but I think, yeah, that is just something to keep in mind in terms of this style of changing colors and moving horizontally as you move vertically. It can be a little much. Okay, next let's look at Hoodspa's portfolio. I absolutely love Hoodspa. If you don't know, it's a set of twin designers living in California, and I've been inspired by them for years. I just really, really love their work, but also I love their portfolio site. I think it's really cool. It's simple enough in that it's really easy to navigate, but it's also really unique. Like, this is one of my absolute favorite fonts. And I only know it because of them, but I just think they have such a way with typography. So yeah, I love this. The font is called Zangezi, I believe. And yeah, I can link it below if you want. But yeah, I really like this. I like how they have sort of this little key of different icons that represent different types of projects. And they also have that whole thing where as you scroll, the colors change, which is kind of cool. One of my favorite things is just looking through their projects and how they lay them out. as case studies. They always have really awesome copy. So I'm not going to read this into the camera, but you can read it if you want. They just really always have like the best voice in their portfolios, which I really, really like. And they obviously show all of this work, but they give enough context where it's actually really helpful. So I love how they lay these out, and it's just really inspiring to look through. The other thing that is just one of my favorite things about their work and their site is that they are using the best photography. So let's go down until we can see them. I love their studio photos. They're just really, really great. And obviously all of the photos inside of their work is really awesome too. Let's pick another cool one. Like all their package photos they do themselves, and it's just really, really awesome photography inspiration when it comes to product photography. And so yeah, I just love looking through their work. Next is another one that is more of an agency than a personal portfolio, but I think we can really get inspired by this as well. It's so simple and easy to use, and again, my favorite thing about this site is how they lay out their case studies. So let's look at an example here. So they pose the challenge, the approach, the services provided. They use a lot of GIFs and video embedded in these case studies. The strategy, they really lay it out for you as opposed to just showing imagery. They give a lot of written context, which I love because that's really important for strategic projects, especially UI UX projects are always strategic. And so I really love this. They even describe the visual language. They're talking about, all of these types of things. I love how they have kind of like process work. Like these are clearly sketches here. In this token project, I also noticed that they laid out this whole probably Illustrator file of logo concepts, which is just so cool to see. I absolutely love that. I love seeing this behind the scenes work in progress type of thing. And so yeah, I love how they do their case studies, and I definitely come and look at this often for inspiration on my own. And the last thing I'll mention on their site is just their footer. For some reason, I just really like how this footer animates on scroll. It's not just like, it's kind of like fixed until you reach it, and then it kind of uncovers the footer. And that might be really common, but I just really like that, and I would love to try to figure out how to do that in Webflow. Okay, and the last portfolio that I want to look at is this one by T-Tran. So first of all, I just really like the cute little interactions. Whenever you hover over the smiley face, you can also hover over her photo and it changes expressions. The scroll animations are really nice. I really like how she has this quote here. I will say, however, it's going a little fast for my preference. It just kind of hurts my eyes to try to read that. I wish it was going a little bit slower. And again, that nice footer transition that I really like. So then let's get into the menu. This is really unique. Whenever you hover over the menu, it will sort of change and show a photo behind it, which I love. So do good work, be kind, use words, be you. So let's check out her work. I love how that picture then sort of like blows up and moves to the side. That's a really cool interaction. So now we have these works, and it's sort of similar to some other ones we've looked at today where when you roll over it, you can see a preview image. So this is really cool. Let's check out this one. Awesome. So then we start scrolling, and I love the big full bleed, or not full bleed, but they're really big images. But also I really like how she lays out her case studies as well. Same as the last example. It's really nice to get all of that context and exactly what they did to service this client. And again, I also just love the headlines. Like, I hate when it's just a bunch of body copy of text, because if I don't want to read the whole paragraph, I can't really get like a TLDR. But if you just go through and read the headings, then you kind of get the idea. And so I really like whenever people do that. Yeah, and that's pretty much that. Let's look at the about page. I really love her photography, similar to Chutzpah. I just think it's really impressive whenever people have custom photography of themselves, the products, and that kind of thing. So I just really love that. And yeah, it looks like she's gotten a lot of recognition, which doesn't surprise me. This is just a really awesome portfolio. And those are my 6 favorite portfolio sites right now. Hopefully you got some fun ideas from these, and if you like this type of video, I also have a video where I review my subscribers' portfolios and give some general tips on improving your portfolio, so make sure to check that out. I'll have it linked in the cards and down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye!